What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, I want to talk about the Bitcoin price chart and the dynamic that's going on out there in the cryptocurrency market, with everything really catapulting to the upside. And just yesterday, we had the total market cap of crypto break above and close the daily candle into a new all-time high. It is still continuing to do so today, with another high being set there for the total market cap of crypto. Of course, we've seen the altcoin market follow suit. XRP has been on its big rip, playing around with the retracement levels of 2021 through 2024. Of course, looking here on the right side of the screen, there's quite a bit of green today. Others is still having its big battle up in here in the retracement levels. The positive thing about the place where it's at, while it still is fighting over here against that resistance level over there, it has not been some type of like clean rejection coming off of the retracement level, which, if you recall from back in March, it was like an absolute precise hit of the 702 retracement and a clean rejection off of those levels. So the battle rage is on over here, but no clean rejection this time, albeit it sure is just hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, not through, hitting it, not through. Trying real hard. But there were a couple of things in the market I wanted to talk about as we get ready for the weekend. Yesterday, the price of Bitcoin got up into the 99,000s. I believe it got to like $99,500. The way the cryptocurrency market is acting right now, it's acting like these are kind of like the final waves for Bitcoin up in here. Again, these can take months to play out. It does not mean it's like an impending doom thing happening soon. Typically, even for the altcoin market, this is really what you're looking for. You're looking for Bitcoin to kind of reach that euphoric phase where there's not a whole lot of juice left in it, and the money just starts really washing throughout the whole market, considering the Bitcoin fear and greed indexes. In mega super extreme greed doesn't necessarily mean it's topping just yet, just because we've reached that level of extreme greed. It just means we've entered the parabolic state. You can look back here to 2020. You can see we were hitting these levels of extreme greed in December, right? We know that Bitcoin didn't top until April, but important to remember when you're in these levels, right? A couple of months, that's really it before the sky starts falling. But a lot of crazy stuff can happen in between now and then, including things like the safety trade dominance falling on itself, which still somehow it is still just maintaining itself. And I think that a product of this is actually due to one person in the crypto market not really participating just yet. And I wouldn't say it's a person, it's a crypto. It's just been quiet. Pretty much the one everybody has forgotten about, which of course is Ethereum. Historically speaking, true alt seasons get officially marked when Ethereum is going for the breakout. And right now it seems that a lot of people have pretty much counted Ethereum out, but I wouldn't be so quick to do so. These escapes that happen for the altcoin market are typically, or rather are, accompanied by Ethereum, including back in 2020 and 2021. Now, I want to scoot to macro for a second, then we'll come right back to that. But one of the things we've talked about a lot, of course, has been the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 was able to escape from its retracement levels. Ever since then, we've seen the chaos of crypto unfold from that moment. My thoughts have been that this is more of a rotational top that is happening over here in the equity market. If it's your first time hearing that, well, the people who've been around for a long time have heard enough of it, so I won't dive into it too deep. But in rotational tops, rather than actually getting true expansions to take place in here, you do really just that. You come back and backtest, and then you just kind of keep waddling up like this. Fortunately, after the Russell 2000 backtested the breakout level, it has started to shift its way back up. Another thing we've paid attention to has been gold. And we've talked about this a couple of times over the last couple of weeks, that my thoughts were that we would see a retracement happen over here in gold, particularly back to the 702 retracement. We are almost there right now. Now the big theory, or the big question of if the theory will hold true, that there's actually going to be the excitement part of the market happening here in a wave 3 of gold to the downside. And the thing to keep an eye on would be Ethereum. I do understand not everybody owns Ethereum. A lot of people don't like Ethereum at all. But I come from the pretty not sexy approach of markets of saying, hey, there's no flip the switch. Hey, there's nobody using Bitcoin for anything. It's just a risk on asset that performs well during opening the breadth in the stock market. I kind of ignore all narratives and try to study markets and understand their functions and their relationships and how they interact with each other. But one of those reasons why I'm also interested in watching Ethereum during this moment too, and why I think there's a chance Ethereum might do well, is due to something we've talked a lot about over here on the channel when it comes to XRP and its relationship to the rest of the market. And that during this last year, the price of XRP was the most undervalued in relationship to the rest of the market. So total over the price of XRP, or total was the most overvalued it has ever been in history in relationship to XRP. And we've talked about this a lot, that, hey, the last time this happened, this sent XRP on a massive bull run. When this thing completely crumbled down from these levels, this is the major run in XRP where it goes from like 0.002 cents all the way up to like 30 cents. Massive run that takes place there as this thing gets absolutely hammered to the downside. As we can see, the price of XRP has been exploding, and down goes total over XRP off of those levels once again. But it's not just total over XRP. We could look at Ethereum over XRP and see that it's doing the same thing. Essentially, Ethereum is crashing in relation to XRP. More like Ethereum is just staying still while the price of XRP is exploding. But this is a clear breakout failure. And another way to look at that is actually like we've been talking about over here on Bitcoin from back in 2021, what a breakout failure looks like. Now, what we haven't seen happen over here for Ethereum versus XRP yet is that a new low gets taken in. So still, this thing probably has more to fall versus XRP. Matter of fact, it could even find support and then go down and do it. But what's likely to happen is that there's going to be some type of a retracement that comes in here for Ethereum versus the price of XRP. And that may be where we actually see this thing start to get going and Ethereum start to get going. Now, what it would signal after that is that this thing is going to crash and burn afterwards, which likely means XRP is ripping to the upside in that moment. But what we know hasn't happened in this market yet is that this thing hasn't truly broken down yet. Yes, it started going to the downside, but we've seen that before, and things just kind of stabilize until Ethereum can get a true breakout. And you may be thinking, hey, that's a weird concept that we have to wait for Ethereum to break out when this is a dominance, including Ethereum, that is breaking down. Why would we see Ethereum break up and dominance of Ethereum break down? Well, really, we can go back and relive that of what it was like when this dominance did break down back in 2021. Notice that Ethereum was ripping to the upside during that whole time, even though the dominance of the safety trade was falling, because it's historically been a signal to the whole market to get ripping. And so definitely, while a lot of us over here in the XRP community are hooting and hollering and cheering, I think it may be time to start considering paying attention to Ethereum. That there's likely some type of retracement coming in here at some point, which I know some people are definitely saying absolutely not. And that may be the triggering event that gets the altcoin market to break out into the new all-time high, which inevitably gets this thing to fall. It's hard for me to believe that we can have full-blown alt season without Ethereum being a participant, considering Ethereum is the biggest monster altcoin in the cryptocurrency market by a mile, right? You can look at the total value locked in Ethereum, $63 billion versus number 2 Solana at 9. The total number of full-time developers on Ethereum, 3 times larger than number 2, which is an L2 of Ethereum. The most NFT activity. More than double than that of Solana, more than Bitcoin. It seems unlikely that it's not going to participate, but I think it's also a signal to look for confirmation that this market is ripping. Of course, I'd like to see gold turn over and get plunging to the downside. I'd like to see the Russell 2000 continue and get into new all-time highs. Heck, I'd like to see XRP keep on ripping. But historically speaking, this is a pretty important thing to pay attention to when it comes to Ethereum, because it's the true marker of alt season and expansion is in effect. And based on what I'm seeing with Ethereum versus XRP, I'll be very clear. It looks like Ethereum has topped in relation to XRP, that it is not going to be more valuable than it was at that one particular time, back there on June 3rd. And I think this will go lower. But what I do think is that Ethereum is probably going to steal the show for a little while. And hate or love Ethereum, it's just another confirmation that we would like to see that would make things consistent to the past. I'm not even saying that Ethereum's going to put on the biggest percentage gains that you've ever seen in your life. It may be one of the lower end performers, but it's a giant, right? And it's the biggest altcoin that we have in this market. And I know that I'm walking on eggshells right now with the animosity that there is towards the leaders of Ethereum and the whole SEC stuff, right? Like I know, but like I said, I'm trying not to come from narrative perspectives. I'm trying to come from market historical relationship perspectives that if Ethereum starts taking off, to not frown at that if you don't own it. We have Bitcoin in all-time highs. We have the total market cap in all-time highs. We want to see the altcoin market go into all-time highs, but we also want to have a little bit of confidence in there that the whole market is participating and there's not some weird dynamic happening in there. And one of those things that is really good for the market is Ethereum ripping and roaring. And that's consistent with what happens when these things fall, when the safety trade dominance falls. And if the safety trade dominance is falling, the whole market is ripping to the upside. I'm not here to hold grudges against any type of asset or any type of group of people. I'm here to make money. I'm here to be able to try to have a clear read on the market. I'm not here to cheer against one asset and cheer for another. I'm trying to find a fluid relationship between all assets that I can read and try to profit from. I own Ethereum. I own 5 times more XRP than I do Ethereum, but I want to see something show up for Ethereum as it's the biggest altcoin. And based on what I'm seeing happening over here, I think we are going to see it. Not necessarily today or tomorrow or the next day, but giving you an idea that I think we're probably going to see a new low get taken out over here from back in July of 2023. And then I would expect it to kind of be maybe a cooling off period for XRP while Ethereum steals the show, or they're both going together, but Ethereum's kind of outpacing there for a minute. But I do think that XRP will steal the show all the way back again in a much bigger way than what we're even seeing happening right now, where we'd see it really fall back all the way down to these levels. So that line may go a little too far, maybe around there. And it's very rare that I venture away and talk so heavily about like one altcoin outside of like XRP, right? We may in passing talk about like Cardano or Sui or something like that, right? But when I make my YouTube videos and I'm talking about stuff and I'm trying to explain my line of thinking and how I'm kind of coming to the conclusions that I'm coming to, I never try to like leave you in the dark on why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking, or that I'm some guru who has some secret magic because I've got the secret sauce that nobody else has. It's not like that. Every opinion that I have, I try to back it up with the exact reasons of why I have that opinion and show it to you on the chart. So when you look at it, you're not sitting there thinking, hey, man, you said this because you were a guru. It's like, no, I said it because of all the reasons I showed you, right? And so these are the things that I'm seeing and the reasons that I believe Ethereum's going to wake up. Historically, it always wakes up. Historically, the true opening of breadth and expansion in the whole market is accompanied by Ethereum. And when we do see these falls happen in the safety trade dominance, even though Ethereum is included in the safety trade dominance, Ethereum is usually ripping during that moment. And so hate or love Ethereum, I personally would like to have this market be as easy to read as possible, and that every step of what happens is very similar to things that we've seen before. So we don't get caught up in the emotions of excitement and euphoria at the peak of it and then miss the top and then hold the thing all the way down, hoping that things are going to recover, but trying to look for those elements that typically signal tops are in or expansions are happening. You know, if Bitcoin can play out something like this, right, and then it retraces and then alt season's ripping into this moment, we just get the clear signal sell at the 702. Like, boy, that's my dream. I'm praying that's how things play out, right? Because that's like the easiest read you can have. You know, be looking for 10,000 viewers in markets in the morning, right? And people screaming, you think it's going to crash? You're a dummy, right? Those would be all the perfect things, right? 702, the altcoin market, like barely even flinches on that dip and it just keeps ripping while Bitcoin's doing that. Like, right, it would be the perfect signal. And so for the picture to remain clear and for things to remain consistent and easily readable, we want to see the Russell break out. We want to see the safety trade dominance fall and collapse on itself. We want to see gold go plunge into the downside. But we also want to see Ethereum participate because it instills that confidence that things are okay. And structurally, when setups like this do happen, typically that's the kind of structure that you are making. So when it comes to Ethereum versus XRP, we're seeing XRP steal the show right now. I do think there's going to be a moment here in a little while where Ethereum does steal the show back for a little while. However, it will only be temporary, and that XRP will steal the show all again. Doesn't necessarily mean XRP will go down during that time, where Ethereum is moving up in regards to its relationship on the Ethereum over XRP chart. But I think way too many people have counted out Ethereum and completely forgotten about it. And I think that's probably going to be its moment to shine right there. And so if you see Ethereum waking up, regardless of if you own it or don't own it, based on how this market has behaved historically, and with it being the largest by market cap, largest by NFT volume, largest by TVL, largest developers, it's a super positive sign for the whole market to see that happening. So if we get it throughout the weekend, rock and roll. But to be very clear, I don't think it's going to be the best performer of this cycle. There will probably be other coins that perform better than Ethereum. But from what I see right here, this year, this time, it's going to lose its share versus XRP. So as we get ready for the next week to kick off and this week come to a conclusion, the things we'll be looking for heading into next week are going to be, one, that gold chills out here pretty soon as it gets into these retracement levels. The idea was that we would get back to them. We are now approaching them. However, gold is closed, or spot price of gold is closed throughout the weekend. So we won't have trading open for it again until Sunday night. So when we kick off Monday, looking to see that gold can reject from here next week. At the same time, next week, looking to see if we can get the Russell 2000 to break into a new all-time high. And at the same time, get Ethereum to wake up, to signal to the rest of the altcoin market, it is time to party. Because that is historically what does happen when we do see the safety trade dominance fall and the altcoin market take control. And it's what we typically see when Bitcoin is nearing its distribution. And well, Jim Cramer just put the buy curse on Bitcoin, which, coming from a market participant who was here in the 2017 bull run and in the 2021 bull run, the second CNBC starts doing that, it has been a dire warning sign for Bitcoin. I remember in 2017, they would not talk about Bitcoin. It was the most frustrating thing in the world. Crypto people were pretty much chastised as criminals and underground basement dwellers. And it wasn't until Bitcoin crossed $10,000 that CNBC was willing to talk about Bitcoin and got everybody to buy the top of it. Those who came in 2021, you probably came in when CNBC started talking about it and financial news started talking about it, because they would not talk about it until it got above $50,000. Once it got above $50,000, Kramer was going on to Anthony Pompliano's channel. I'll never sell my Bitcoin, Pomp. I mean it. He sold it a week later. Kevin O'Leary puts laser eyes on his profile. I have never seen CNBC issue a buy on Bitcoin that wasn't near the top. But the thing is, like, this is the thing that you're looking for in the altcoin market. You're looking for Bitcoin to kind of run out of steam. And I get it. Bitcoiners won't like hearing that. But you know what? That's what happened back in here. Bitcoin had already gotten most of its juice out by the time it got way up here and by the time the altcoin market woke up. And by the time Ethereum woke up and the safety trade dominance started falling. So everything is really just playing out according to plan on how it should be behaving. It's really just the next step is get the Russell to keep moving, get gold to make the U-turn at the retracement levels, and get Ethereum to wake up. And everything just looks harmonious to the past and like we're still just playing the same old game. So what would be interesting about all of that, right? What you see Ethereum expand, you see the altcoin market expand, you see gold fall, and you see the Russell break out. And for all that to happen next week, I'm curious if the events that will take place throughout the weekend, will there be some type of good news that will come out at just the right time? We'll see. Otherwise, it feels good to see this type of action sprinkled throughout the crypto market. Lots of assets just ripping. And of course, XRP. We're just missing one player. And it would instill a lot of confidence to see him show up next week. Because I think that is what's going to make that get that escape velocity right there. So we'll check in on it next week. We're going to be looking for gold to make a U-turn. We're going to be looking for the Russell 2000 to go break to the all-time high. We're going to look for Ethereum to wake up, which will likely wake up the rest of the market as well. And hey, maybe we'll get lucky. Bitcoin will cross $100,000 and the media machine turns itself on at the same time. We'll see. On a side note, next week is Thanksgiving. I place a boundary on myself every year. Ever since 2020, when the SEC sued Ripple and it essentially ruined Christmas, that I always take the Thanksgiving and the Christmas holidays off. So I will be off next Wednesday through Sunday. I'll also be off during Christmas. But next week with the holiday coming up, spending time with family, The charts will still be here when we get back, but I will be having a few days off. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Of course, check out the newsletter over here at blockchainbacker.substack.com, includes an audio recording in there. You get access to all the past ones at the same time. Check out bcbacker.com for over 40 videos and 11 hours of content teaching you how to set up your own charts and indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. There are links in the description of this video to bcbacker.com and to the newsletter at blockchainbacker.substack.com. Otherwise, another wonderful week. Killer price action. Until the next one, have a great weekend. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.